There's a lot of skepticism that the administration is going to prevail. If I put my betting money on it, I think they will not prevail. But the challengers faced a lot of difficult questions as well, particularly this notion that IEEPA allows you to do all of these things. It allows you to block imports, sanction
Right.
folks. So why can't it allow you to adjust imports through tariffs? And I think the challengers got themselves tied up in knots trying to cover that.
We looked at the surveillance Rolodex. Juan keeps the surveillance Rolodex.
Yes.
Do you realize the percentage of people that don't know what I'm talking
No, and
about?
Juan has no.
Juan has no clue what a Rolodex is. We got out the Rolodex, Ryan, and we said, find someone who's actually read Section 301 or Section 122. Does the president and the administration have a convenient out if they lose at the Supreme Court?
Yes, they do. I think they have multiple options they can consider. So they may consider Section 338, which is from the Smoot-Hawley era. It's never been tested before.
Thank God I read that one.
That'll keep us entertained. I think they're more likely to pivot, as you noted, to Section 301. That was used for the China tariffs. They're very enduring. I mean, we've had China tariffs in place under that law for 8 years. It's very broad. I actually think they'll use a provision, as you noted, Section 122, which is a balance of payments focused law, because it'll allow them to put in place 15% tariffs for 150 days. There's no reason from my perspective they can't do that and at the same time launch a whole bunch of 301 investigations against our trading partners.
Ryan, you spent a little more than 2 years at the U.S. Department of Commerce. Is this tariff policy a sound policy across the board, these tariffs? Is that a sound policy, do you believe?
So, they're trying to hit at some core ideas. Again, they're trying to return manufacturing to the U.S. and deal with persistent unfair trade we've dealt with for decades. We need to reckon with those issues, and that's what they're trying to do. The challenge.
You think there's persistent unfair trade against the United States for decades?
Absolutely. From China, excuse me, we faced unfair dumping, excess capacity, global distortions for decades, and the problem is that issue is
look around our economy versus everybody else in the world, Ryan.
Yeah.
Do you really believe that?
I deeply believe we face these challenges. The problem now, though, is that this may be an overcorrection on the problem, and the stock market and the overall economy is not acting as a check to this, and we'll have to see if that bears out as we go forward.
Wow. All right, Ryan. So where do we go from here? If the Supreme Court does maybe rule a little bit against the U.S. Administration here, how aggressive can the administration be and try to find some other avenues to try to enforce some of these trade policies?
So here's the way I would think about it. A lot of folks may think if the tariffs are struck down, our trading partners who cut deals are going to come to the administration and say, your tariffs were struck down, we want a new deal. I think the administration can credibly come in and say, we have used Section 301 in the past. It's been battle tested in the courts. We've had significant tariffs in place against China for 8 years, and we can do that against you as well. And so I actually think these negotiated deals are probably here to stay. My personal view is, regardless of the result, we're going to see tariffs continue. The big challenge is going to be what happened to folks who paid the tariffs, because we're going to have a big problem there.
Okay, Ryan, we got to wrap this up, and I want to get you on in the coming weeks, because I just think the balance you're bringing here is great. McKinley did tariffs. The day before he's assassinated, he gave a speech in Buffalo and said I was wrong and pulled away from tariffs. Are we going to get to a point where, whether it's President Trump or the next president, has to go, oops, this is not working?
We certainly could hit that moment. I personally think right now AI is shadowing issues in the economy. And I think, at the end of the day, their hope is they can raise the real median wage of American workers. But if folks are paying more for the goods they need every day, that calculus is going to weigh out.